Hello and welcome to Entrepreneurship 20. My name is Alan Graves and I will be your instructor for this course. This is Entrepreneurship 20 online. And as we get started, I guess the first thing I should do is briefly introduce myself and why am I qualified to teach you this class. Just so you know, my name is Alan Graves. I am mainly focused in the last 20 years in creating revenue, making, in other words, in simple terms, making money. How do we create more sales, more marketing channels, more ability to create more opportunities to bring in more revenue? That has been my focus in my professional career. Just a little bit about me. I guess I'll start from a few years back. When I first started, I was in the non-for-profit industry. That was Arriba Juntos in San Francisco. I was there for a few years, and I moved into senior performance manager into another non-for-profit in the city of San Francisco. But that was over 10 years ago. Then I went ahead and started my own company called Golden Mortgage Solutions. During this time, we were selling mortgage loans to potential borrowers, and it was a great endeavor. We made a significant amount of money and interest by doing the meltdown of the early 2000s. The company was sold to my partner, and after that, I exited that market. Then went ahead and started working with another company that started in Stanford University called now Opportune. Originally, it was called Progreso Financiero. When I first started that company, there was 5 people in my team. By the time I left, I had nearly 300 people in my team. So I was the head of sales and services, both here in California, Mexico, Chicago, and also in Texas. So my team was quite large, and I traveled quite often. Then after that, I hooked up with Miguel Colon. Some of you guys may know him already from one of the other classes. He was my business partner, and I was the head of operational sales, if you will. And basically, it was SEC compliance services. We were in a perfect timing of selling technology reports to publicly traded companies. Then that company, within 3 months, we had 100 customers. Within 8 months, we had 2% of the market. Within 12 months, we had several offers to sell, and we did. We did it to direct issuers direct, where I was the director of West Coast sales operations. This company was being traded in the New York Stock Exchange. When we first got on, we were trading at $1.49. By the time I left, it was trading at $14 within the 2.5 years that I worked with them. After that, I wanted to do something fun. I needed to change something in my life, something a little bit more exciting, and that's when I decided to open San Francisco Love Tours, and that's sort of what I'm doing in the last few years. That what keeps the majority of my time. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a few seconds. But before we continue, I've been teaching at Chabot for the last 4 years or so. My main focus has always been in marketing or revenue creation, and then soon after that, I started also doing the startup phase of it, Entrepreneurship One. How do we get you started with your idea and see if it's viable? For many years, I've been the president of the National Society of Hispanic MBAs. That's what it was called before. Now it's Prospanica. Basically, it's a non-for-profit organization with over 30,000 members now and 42 chapters nationwide. But what we do is that we raise funds to allow other people to go to graduate school of business so they can also become professionals. Um, but my main intent right now is going as the CEO and founder of San Francisco Love Tours. Briefly, what San Francisco Love Tours is and does is it's a startup company in San Francisco where we focus in doing small tours inside of 1970s VW buses with hand-painted murals in the outside, shag carpets in the inside, and velvet seats. And we tell a story of San Francisco through the eyes and the vibes of peace, love, freedom, and adventure. What we want to do is make sure that we give a historically accurate story of San Francisco, but not a boring story. We want to do it during the time of the hippies when they were here, or the hipsters, or the new technology boom, which is the new gold rush. And how do we encompass that into one amazing story of San Francisco? Within the first 6 months, in a very competitive market, we became among the top 10 things to do in San Francisco. That was in the first 6 months it started, and a year and a half into it, we started with one bus and myself doing tours. Now I have over 10 employees and I have 4 of these VW buses going around town. So it's been a sensational story of creating this company and which is it's a cash revenue company. We make significant amount of cash, so we don't have the nightmares of having to have receivables. And that's what brings me together. I am a person who will look at an initiative or an idea, and I can come up with the strategies of how to get it to market and how to get people interested in buying some of those things. So I'm hoping to be able to teach you some of the techniques that I've been using over the last 20 years in marketing or positioning, and this is where our journey begins. Um, so let's go back or start where the class would be. So Entrepreneurship 20, this is an online classes, which means that all class interaction would always happen through Blackboard or so. When you first log in, the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that you have the view that I have right now, or actually the view as a student. So I'm going to change this around. There should always be an announcement of some sort coming in, greeting you and telling you this announcement should have gone out via email. A few things from here that I want to talk right away is that the best way to contact with me is via email at agraves@chabot.college.edu. In your subject line, it should always say NTR 20, so this way I don't confuse you or gets lost with other messages that will come in through the same channel. And then after that, colon, put what else you want to talk about, whether it's a question about an assignment, or if you have a need of some sort, or you need to be absent, or you're going to miss a week, whatever it is, please let me know. Just use this format so this way I can get to your message quicker. The next thing you want to know is that the book that you need to have is Marketing for Entrepreneurs, Concepts and Applications for New Ventures. We're looking into the second edition. Frederick Crane is the author, and you can find that in either the bookstore, or you can find it at Amazon.com, or you can even find them at half.com. Week 1 is now open. What does that mean? When you come here on your left-hand side of your Blackboard, you will see all the weekly assignments. In the next few days or so, I'm going to go ahead and open all of these weeks. You can see that the entire semester is already scheduled for you, including the Thanksgiving weekend. During that week, we will not have class per se, but there will be opportunities for extra credit. In the meantime, if you just go with the class, you can click on week 1, and that will give you all the details of information that you need. For example, we would always start with the agenda and the learning objectives of what's going to be happening. Then we'll talk about the required readings or required reading assignments, which for week 1 is chapter 1 and chapter 2. Then you'll be required to see a couple of videos about what is marketing. I will always look for third-party source that allows me to see more information and other perspectives on the same topics, and this way you can get a variety of information. And then you have one assignment, which is called Identifying a Good Opportunity. This is in the discussion board. If you were to click in this, it would also link you to this where it says discussion board. They're one and the same. When you click on this one, then you will be here identifying a good opportunity. You can click on it, and then you can start your assignment. Clearly, these assignments, you want to start doing them after you have read and gone through the entire exercises that are posted in the weekly assignments. So in this way, you can be up to date and you can be answering accurately. Every assignment will be available starting on the Monday of that week, and it will be expected to be completed or closed by Friday. Any late assignments will be considered, anything after the due date will be considered late, and will probably be penalized up to 25 minus points. So if you can get 20, then you can reduce 25 of that. This means you can only get 15% thereafter, 15 points after that, and so on and so forth. The syllabus could be found easily under the syllabus part of the Blackboard. If you were to click on it, then a document should pop out. I think I have put a PDF document. If not, it will be a PDF that will go online. So we'll go over the syllabus real quick with you guys. It's basically the same thing. This is how to reach me, my email, my phone number. I am not on campus per se. This is an online class, so therefore if we need to have a face-to-face meeting, we need to make sure that it's an appointment, because otherwise you won't find me. Class policies are pretty simple. You have to make sure that you show up to do the work. The way that I grade this in terms of you showing up to work is that I can see the last time that you have logged in. So I will be logging in periodically, and every week I will be giving you points for this. The next thing that we'll also be looking at is your participation on Blackboard. Do you comment on other students' ideas, comments, and so on? The idea of the Blackboard, I'm sorry, the discussion board is so that you two can communicate with each other. We talked about already late work. You calculating your grade should be very simple. The reality is that the points that are available during the week, it's the denominator. And how many points you earn is the numerator. If you divide the numerator by the denominator, then you will get a point, a fraction of that, and that will be a percentage, which equates to a grade. For example, the first week, we only asked you attendance and a discussion board. That's a total of 30 points. By the end of week 2, there will be 160 points available. And if you only earn, say, 120 points, that gives you 120 points earned divided by 160 equals 0.75 or 75%, which is a C grade. By the end of the semester, you can earn a total of up to 1,200 points, which that'll be the denominator for the semester. If you get 100% or 90 to 100% is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, 70 to 79 is a C, 60 to 69 is a D, and anything under 60 will be an F. The points are already set forth. Attendance, we have 14 meetings, so it will be 10 points each time. Discussion boards, there'll be 13, so that's 260 points. There will be, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 specific projects and a final marketing plan. The final marketing plan would have every single one of your projects. The reality is, at the end of the day, please be honest, do your own work. That's what we're looking for, and I'm assuming that's what you're looking for, so this is your learning objectives. Anything that is not towards the policy, then we will just follow due course, which includes up to disciplinary action, which include dismissals from the class and even the college. If you need to withdraw or drop, make sure that you follow all the attendance. I will not be doing that for you, so make sure that you do this for yourself if you needed to drop. An incomplete grade, well, that's only by approval notice, so please let me know if there's something that comes up that will not allow you to complete the class. All right, so back to weekly assignments. Once again, this is where you would always start your class. You can go into the week that you're working for. You may be able to move forward as to see what's happening in the next week. That's available. It will tell you what's happening. I will be creating more content as it goes forward. You can see that research assignment 1, which is worth 100 points, is going to be due in 2 weeks. We'll talk more about that in next week's video, but every week there'll be a new video and updated giving you information on what to do. In the meantime, what you're required to do now, we'll go back to week 1, which is value proposition. The agenda is to go to the videos, read chapter 1 and 2, and answer the discussion board. If you have any questions, please let me know. I look forward in working with you in anything that we can work on together. If you need to get a hold of me, you can always go to staff information, and you should be able to find information about me, which includes both my email and the phone number. Other than that, I look forward in getting to know each and one of your ideas and see how we can create a successful marketing plan towards the end of the class.